So hi students, I hope that you enjoyed that assignment and find out some things about you and your palms. Today we're covering the color of the hands and lines. I know we already covered some of the texture, but we're going to continue knowing more about the quality of the hands and lines. So the quality of the blood determines the color we find in the palm. So although in palmistry we call this the color of the palm, it's more like a tint. We are actually looking for the color under the skin. So the tint in the skin is indicative of the amount of vital life force the person is imbued with. The character of the individual is strengthened or weakened by the amount of color in the hand. The quality of the person's blood is a major influence on health, because health strongly affects a person's disposition. The color in the palm is an indicator of both health and temperament. When looking at color, we will consider the color seen in the palm, the lines, and the nails. We are not concerned with the color of the skin on the back of the hand, as that area of the hand is influenced by exposure to elements. The skin of the palm is generally lighter than the rest of the body. So while it is easiest to observe color in people who are fair-skinned, variations of color can be seen in the hands of people from all racial backgrounds. With a little practice, your eye will become very discerning. Often there is an overall color to the palm. Other times a particular mount appears more strongly tinted than the others. For example, a hand may generally be pale pink, but one mount may be red. If the color is prominent on only one of the two mounts, their characteristics will be highlighted in the personality. If the color is equally distributed throughout the palm, it is an indication that will apply to the personality as a whole. The color found in the lines and nails should match the overall color of the palm. When it doesn't, it is an indication that something is amiss and warrants further investigation. For example, in a hand that's basically pink, you might find a hard line colored red or blue. This will alert you to examine the condition of the heart. Likewise, you might find a yellow headline on an otherwise pink palm, indicating depression or a cynical attitude towards life. Each color is naturally associated with one of the 7 mount types. The characteristics associated with the color are innate to the personality and health of the type. The colors we will consider are white, pink, red, yellow, and blue. So let's talk about white for a minute. White color in the palm is often shown by an absence of color. In fair-skinned Caucasians, the skin may appear white as snow, as though all the blood has been withdrawn from the surface. In people with darker skin, the palm will look drained of color, or the skin may have an overall beige or perhaps chalky look. There will be no pink highlights signing out from any of the mounts. For all races, the white pallor will be evenly distributed over the entire palm. In temperament, the white color in the palm represents coldness and introversion, whereas passion is associated with the color red. White indicates an absence of passion. People with white palms are emotionally cold in love. They are not sensual and have far more mental energy than physical. Often these people are loners, have few friends, and hold others at a distance. They are often self-centered and selfish. This coldness affects the entire personality. A hand drained of color has little life force to spare. A white color in the palms is an abnormal condition, and health problems should be looked for immediately. Our blood is red, and when it is healthy and flowing freely in the body, it imparts a pink glow. When color appears drained from the palm, the circulation may be poor, the heart action weak, or the blood thin, indicating an anemic condition. Usually you will find other indications in the hand that will point towards the nature of the problem. For example, a weak heart is often indicated by a large island on the heart line. Many times these people are already ill, and what you tell them about the general indications shown by their palms will not be a surprise. White is the color also naturally associated with the Luna archetype. It is natural for people of this archetype to have pallid palm, like the paleness of the full moon. The personality characteristics associated with white color have much in common with the traits of the Lunarian. They are naturally cool, introverted, and pale. It is fortunate that overall whiteness is not commonly found. It takes away zest, warmth, and emotion from all types. This can be dangerous with the Saturn and Mercury archetypes, who each have a criminal side. The coldness of the white color indicates the potential for going in this direction. Now, let's talk about PIM. A pink palm. A pink palm shows a healthy condition of the blood and is the color we would like most to find in the palm. It is easy to identify in people of all ethnicities, as pink shines through every tint of skin. An overall pink color indicates that the individual is full of energy and vitality. This is especially true when accompanied by elastic consistency. Pink color increases the energy of all people, even those with soft consistency. People with pink palms are usually outgoing and optimistic. Their warmth in the blood gives warmth to the heart. These folks are capable of sympathy, tenderness, and generosity towards others. Pink color influences character. It brings out the best in the archetypes. Certain archetypes, such as Venus, Jupiter, and Apollo, are naturally warm and kindly towards others. Pink emphasizes all the best traits of these archetypes. Cooler archetypes such as Saturn and Luna receive extra benefit with this color because their nature brings higher qualities and makes them less pessimistic and despondent. With pink color, they're also more likely to mix with their fellow human beings. Although pink color gives the tendency towards positive qualities in each type, the hand as a whole must bear this out, so it must show all over the palm. For example, you might find a Mercurian with a bent, manipulative little finger. Even with the rich pink color of the person may not be all goodness. They will, however, have excellent energy to put out into their skins and plants. When one mount in the hand is far and away more highly colored than the others, it gains a special prominence. Pink color will help you determine the leading type when two mounts compete for the top spot. When one mount is more pink compared to others, the corresponding part of the brain is especially fertile and active. This is true even if the mount looks mediocre in fullness and height. Pink can raise the energy of an otherwise mount to equal par with other leading influences shown in the hand. Now let's talk about red hands. It's still pink, but as you can see, much more red in this case in the fingertips and in the phalanx, in the fingers. A red color to the palms denotes an excess of energy. People with red color have an intense nature and a strong physical drive. Red color is rarely found covering the entire palm, but when it is present, it is still a very decisive factor in your assessment of the person. Red color is not to be confused with the deep pink. Red color will appear as a full rich red, similar to a poppy or pomegranate. Great physical strength generally accompanies red color, and red color denotes an abundance of rich blood coursing through the veins. There is a surplus of vital energy, and these people are excessive in everything they do, be it love or war. Their enormous vitality needs to be well directed and worked off in physical activity. If not used constructively, they could be driven to all kinds of excesses. They are prone to excess anyway. Most people with red color have difficulty with emotional self-control. All people with red color are extremists, and they're insatiable with their appetites. They're almost always big eaters, for they need a lot of fuel to stoke the fires of their vitality. Red is the color of the Mars archetype. The passion and intensity associated with the color red has always been associated with Mars. Red color can also denote a hot temper. Expect a fight if this person's desires are thwarted. The energy associated with red color is far more physical than mental. All the energy goes into the body, and the intellectual abilities are diminished. People with red color will not be mentally agile. The brain is dense and overcrowded with blood. Overall, red color can reveal health difficulties such as heart weakness or a tendency towards a stroke. The blood may be too thick. Apollonians are prone to heart attacks, and Jupiterians are predisposed to a stroke. So now let's look at yellow. Yellow color in the palm denotes a person who is irritable, melancholic, and pessimistic. It is the color associated with the Saturn archetype, who is by nature the most serious and pessimistic of the 7 types. A yellow tint is caused by an excess of bile in the bloodstream. This is an abnormal condition. Bile produced by the liver aids in digestion and assimilation of fats. When there is a dysfunction of the liver, bile overflows into the bloodstream when it acts as an irritant. The body then tries to get rid of the excess of bile by depositing it in the skin. Because bile is yellow-green in color, the skin will be more or less yellow according to the amount of bile present. Bile is not only an irritant to the blood, but is also an irritant to the personality. Unpleasant people are sometimes described as bilious. The more yellow the skin, the more negative and cynical the outlook on life. People with yellow color are moody, introverted, and avoid social contact. They're always finding fault in life and with other people. Although yellow is associated with Saturnians, we find this color in the hands of Mercurians as well. So both Saturnians and Mercurians are prone to liver problems. Yellow color is likely to bring out the worst traits of these archetypes. They can tend towards being mean, bitter, and possibly criminal. All people with yellow palms need help and should be encouraged to think positively and do a liver cleanse. Let's look at blue. Blue color in the palm does not affect the person's character or temperament at all. It is primarily a health indication, showing that the pulsing action of the heart is weak, resulting in poor circulation of the blood. If the entire palm is blue, the person is already in a critical condition and should be under a doctor's care. It is likely they are already aware of the state of their health. Sometimes the blue appears only in the heart line or along the bottom third of the nails, and this is equally a cause of concern. Sometimes the blue color is temporary and appears as a tint on the lower part of the man of Venus during puberty, menopause, or menstruation. In this case, there is no cause for concern. I hope that you enjoyed the presentation. I'll see you in the next module.